in my discussions privately with General Secretary Gorbachev. When you stop to think that we're all God's children, wherever we may live in the world, I couldn't help but say to him, just think how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet, outside in the universe. We'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries, and we would find out once and for all that we really are all human beings here on this earth together. Well, I don't suppose we can wait for some alien race to come down and threaten us, but I think that between us we can bring about that realization. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war? I think maybe I'd answer it this way. I keep, in my frustration sometimes, actually, if you count some of the things going on in smaller countries and all, there have been about 114 wars since World War II. But I've often wondered, what if all of us in the world discovered that we were threatened by a power from outer space, from another planet? Wouldn't we all of a sudden find that we didn't have any differences between us at all? We were all human beings, citizens of the world, and wouldn't we come together to fight that particular threat?
President Bill Clinton is here with us, so if I was president, and I won't be, let's be honest, the first thing I would do after putting my hand on that Bible and taking that oath to serve the country is I wouldn't even probably finish the oath. I would run to the White House. I demand to see all the classified files on the UFOs. Because I want to know. I'd want to know what has been going on. Did you do that?
Sort of. It makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens.
No, I'm trying to tell you I don't know.
Oh.
But if we were visited someday, I wouldn't be surprised. I just hope that it's not like Independence Day.
Yeah, right.
That it's a conflict.
Well, now we have friendly
Maybe the only way to unite this incredibly divided world of ours. They're out there. We better think of how all the differences among people on Earth would seem small if we felt threatened by a space invader. That's the whole theory of independence.
You're right.
Everybody gets together and makes nice, and
You and Bill O'Reilly would be hiding in a bunker together.
Oh, no, he every mean thing he ever said about me. I don't care. Look at that.
Disclosure close, and the American people need to prepare themselves very soon for an announcement from our government that there is in fact an extraterrestrial presence engaging this planet and the human race.
Our conflict in this war. Our challenges may be new. The instruments with which we meet the demands of a new age may be new. But I will always be honest with you about what we can and must achieve tomorrow. At this moment, it is only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It can't happen without you. The task that you're now called to fulfill. And at this moment in history, your generation must seek peace that align our deepest values and commitments to the demands of a new age.
The solar eclipse on April the 8th, 2024, it seems as if now everyone knows about it. They got a breakdown for it. They know what's going to happen. But we know the world is under a delusion. Truly, they don't know what is going to happen. They don't know what's going on. Only a few, all right? And we know that judgment is coming, not just to America, but the world, okay? Because many are under false doctrine as if America is going to be destroyed. And we're going to see that this sign means something different from what the world believes. We already know that the eclipse from 2017, the one that is approaching, is going to make an X across the United States. Now, it's said that this X is located near the town of Carbondale, Illinois. And this little section is also called Little Egypt. Why is that important? Because we know from Revelation 13 that the world is going to worship and wander after the first beast. And the first beast was Pharaoh. He was the first beast to reign over the children of Israel. Now, if you continue on the path of this eclipse, it's said to cross over 8 towns called Nineveh. Why is that important? Because many are connecting that to Jonah, but I'm going to show you something different. Joshua chapter 81, verse 40. And when the children of Israel had entered the sea, the Egyptians came after them. And the waters of the sea resumed upon them, and they all sank in the water. And not one man was left excepting Pharaoh, who gave thanks to Yahuwah and believed in him. Therefore Yahuwah did not cause him to perish at that time with the Egyptians. And Yahuwah ordered an angel to take him from amongst the Egyptians, who cast him upon the land of Nineveh. And he reigned over it for a long time. Hopefully now it's starting to make sense, because this is a sign that the beast is coming to reign from America over the whole world, because Daniel chapter 7 verse 23 says that America is the beast kingdom. Passing over Nineveh 8 times also is symbolic of something, because we know from Revelation that the 8th beast is coming, who was also the 7th beast, who was also the first beast. And the Most High makes it so easy for us to determine who the beast is, because we know that Pharaoh was the seed of Ham, and there has only been one U.S. president that is of the seed of Ham. So his number is number 44, and that also equals 8. And this is the judgment on the nations for what they have done to the children of Israel. That judgment is written in Joel chapter 3 verse 8. That is, they're going to be given over to the Sabians, the one who is coming. And this also connects to moon god worship. And we know who worships the moon. This is their leader.
I know that on your Passover, which isn't mine, that a lot of little children do disappear, and I do know that, and I know a lot of police departments and agencies have been informed, but you're very open. You're very open tonight. I'm very surprised that you're talking about the bloodletting of the little children, that you put their blood in the matzo balls, and that you eat it on sacrifice on Passover. Well, there was a Goyim that wrote a book about it back in the 30s. I forget his name at the moment. But anyway, he wrote the book. People didn't buy the book. People don't want to listen. We've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years, since down to Adam's time. We take the children of our enemy, which is the white race, and we bring them to the basements in the synagogues, where we drain the blood and watch them die there. It's very similar to how we do the sacrifices that we do with the kosher butchering, and so we do that, and then we mix it with the Passover bread, and so we eat the blood of our enemies. And the bodies, we're not cannibals, so what we do is we take those, because we can make some shekels, and we give them to the slaughterhouses, and those are pounds and pounds and pounds of meat that we grind up in the sausage and the hamburger, and that's why we made those the most popular thing, sausage for breakfast and hamburger for lunch. And so all the Goyim out here are really eating their children. And
listen to this. Don't worry, they're not conscious anymore, probably. My omelets, they have friendly faces. Whoops, back you go there. But Gravity Falls is just the beginning. It's time to take our
Now look at this, y'all. What they was trying to tell us. The firmament. Bro.
This might be more complicated than I thought. I think I broke something.
Now look, the TV show is called Gravity Falls, right? The character is called Bill Cipher, the Illuminati boy. Well, what does it say he is? An interdimensional demon.
Alright, boys, to the corners of the earth! Set the world aflame with your weirdness!
Did y'all people say the corners of the earth? And how he sent the demons to all the corners of the earth, bro? Bro. And this was a kid's show by Disney, bro.
No! It's too dangerous! Not so fast! You two wait here! I've got some children I need to make into corpses! What are you? You know my name! Oh, I know lots of things.
Y'all know this video was a cooker, man. Respect the game.
About when Jesus also saw demons, and demons know when you see them. It says Jesus was greeted by demons, and Jesus enters Capernaum, and as he approaches the synagogue, he is met by a man possessed by a demon, an impure spirit devil. The demon then recognizes Jesus and acknowledges him as Holy One of God, implying Son of God and Messiah. And this is a depiction of that, right? So I want you to know that these people are literally trying to usher in the normality of seeing evil spirits. And of course, when you went to these people that you saw demons in, they're gonna deny it. You have to know a demon's name for it to even be like, oh, that's me. Have you never watched any demonic possession movie? But nevertheless, for you to go to a psychiatrist and that psychiatrist doesn't give you the 1,000 other things that people are diagnosed with when they get thrown in psych wards and given medication, and for them to come out with something else called demon syndrome, baby, you had discernment, and unfortunately they're about to play in our
Playboy Carti was just caught wearing a very interesting outfit. I decided to look into who designed this thing he was wearing, and it was Rick Owens, who is married to Michelle Labney, who is 17 years older than him, and they are 17 years older than him, and they are both open occultists. They also both have very close ties to the music industry. You can find many different pictures of them with artists, and coincidentally enough, all who show occult imagery. I've been trying to get this point across that the music and fashion industry have such a dark tie to each other to a degree that many will not ever understand.
You do know one of the fallen angels that in Genesis 6 taught men how to splice and mix DNA. This is where this is why God destroyed the earth, because they was mixing animal DNA with man DNA and coming up with these creatures. They called them chimeras. Creatures, and they was mixing them all together, and this is why God destroyed the world with the flood of Noah. Now ain't it funny how everything's in Genesis 6, but it seems like somebody just rushed over that. Who decided not to put the book of Enoch in that explained it? I'll tell you who, the Catholic Church. They the one did it. They left out a lot of books. The Bible could have more books. They left out them books. All the books that's pointing to these watches and fallen angels, which is what's coming back in the end, they left it out. And that's why we think it's something that's new. That's why Jesus said when they say that Christ is in the desert, don't go. Because it's not new. Satan must deceive you with lying wonders to make you think that the power you're seeing is some great power. But we don't realize it's the old occult power that witches know about. Witches always knew about this power. He'll give a few people have ability to fly like witches do. Yeah, witches fly. Go to Africa, a witch will stand there and disappear and be gone. They got that power already. They walk around with charms on their waist. It's red charms on their waist. These are y'all ever heard of Boko Haram? The one that kidnapped the Nigerian girls? Do you know why they can't catch them? Because they are witches. I've been to Nigeria. I know exactly. I've been there 4 times. I know who they're talking about. Those are witches. When they come to church, they come in there with them red things on, and all of a sudden the power of God hit them, and they start confessing who they really are. These guys are so sold out to Satan. They the one kidnap kids and sacrifice them for power. Satan wants a blood sacrifice. That's why you see all this. We going back to this blood sacrifice. What the occult is. You sacrifice for power. And them guys talk about how they can stand there and bullets can't even kill them. It's not no new power. It's demonic power. But Satan had to keep his secret for the last days when he will have a generation that's dumb enough and ignorant enough and so ignorant about the Bible that they will be willing to receive this lie. And that's where people are today. If you told people you could have power like Superman but go to hell, they take the power. We got a power-hungry generation that's so rejected. They want to be idols in American Idol. They're so rejected. All they want to be is famous. They do everything to stick out. They clothes, their earrings, they gird, their tattoos. It's all about being seen. All the makeup and false eyes, everything, big butts, big everything, just to stick out, stand out, because they're so rejected and that they need to be seen. This is the culture that will receive this. And so right now, if somebody came in here now and made fire dance around her, we saw, that's God. Exactly what the Bible says Satan go do in Revelation. He's going to call fire down from heaven. And men going to say, ooh, that's got to be God. Who can war with the beast? Who is like him? People going to bow down and worship him because of these little lying wonders. And I'm trying to train you that these spiritual invaders is not new. I don't have time to finish this.
So you telling me it's people out here with demon face syndrome? You are telling me a man went to the authorities. He went to get help because he was seeing demon faces and y'all made it a syndrome? What level of y'all playing in our fucking face are y'all trying to pull right now? So 59-year-old Victor Shara is the person from Nashville who first reported these symptoms of seeing demon faces, and they went ahead and made this very weird depiction of what he might be seeing, but something tells me that depiction might be off. He says he just woke up and was sitting on the couch watching TV when his roommate came into the room, and he was looking at him, and what he was saying in his head was, "What am I seeing?" Then his girlfriend walked in and her face was the same. He went on to say each one of those familiar faces had a grotesque grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars, and when turning to the side, pointy ears suddenly appeared. And he said, much like those of Spock, the Vulcan first officer from whatever Star Trek. Who cares? He said he went on and tried to explain to the same people that he just saw turn into demons. He tried to explain to his roommates what he was seeing, and they thought he was nuts. Then he later went to the doctor and they said, I got it. He's got demon syndrome. Y'all, why couldn't they just say it was like hallucinations? Why couldn't they say it was like an underlying issue, like any other disease, right? Where you see things, you see figures, but y'all went out and called it demon syndrome? They want us to believe that seeing demons in people that we once knew is a syndrome, so that the more that starts to become reality, the more that starts to unveil, they can say, oh, you've got demon syndrome. We've got something for that. And give us something to make us back more. They try to ban TikTok so we can't talk about stuff like this. And here we are with CNN coming through with one of the wildest articles yet.
How Pangea is impossible because of it. Well, now it's starting to become relevant in the conversation. Because as you can see here, the thermohaline conveyor is also known as the Gulf Stream. It's called the Gulf Stream because it starts in the Americas, in the Gulf of Mexico, like the rest of the things around the world. Everything starts here. But the Gulf Stream is responsible for the weather. It moves the hot and cold water to the different continents on the planet and gives it its weather system. You see, when the glacier melts from Greenland, it dumps a bunch of fresh water into the ocean, which slows down the thermohaline conveyor, because the thermohaline conveyor is powered by the salinity of the ocean. You might have noticed lately that our weather has been getting a lot more mild on the East Coast. And that's a direct result of the Gulf Stream slowing down and the warm water not moving off of our coast. But when it comes to a complete stop, this is what North America will look like. I'll get out the way you screenshot that back. Now you see why they trying to give some of that East Coast land back. Because they know this. Peace to the gods and goddesses of this universe.
Everyone's talking about the earthquakes in Japan, but take a look at this. This is the last 48 hours, all the seismic waves on this earth. Why is no one talking about this? Here's some videos from Japan and the earthquakes that hit on January 1st, 2024. This is the end times that we're living in right now. This is one of the greatest moments to be alive. A new island's coming up after a volcano. Absolutely insane. And let's not forget to mention that the weather is completely different all over the United States right now. Once again, look at what's going on. Nobody's going to talk about this. I want you guys to open up your eyes and open up your heart. And this is not a scare tactic. This is showing you what's going on right now. And I'm crying out from the rooftops, believe in Jesus. He is the only way. He can set you free, and do not have fear. Fear does not come from God. Only fear the Lord.
In just 24 hours, the temperature dropped from 6 degrees Celsius to minus 30 degrees Celsius in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in China. Wind gusts reached 150.
Did you guys hear about China's weather anomaly? This broke all records, you guys. In less than 24 hours, the temperature dropped from 6 Celsius to negative 52, y'all. Check this out. And because of this, it froze thousands of waterfowls, y'all. Very interesting how certain parts of the planet are receiving these certain type of weather anomalies, y'all. I really had to slow this down to see these, these waterfowls, but they're really like, they're submerged and stuck in these ice, their heads and everything, y'all. That's crazy. Look at that. Thousands of them, y'all. This weather anomaly junk is serious, y'all.
China had an earthquake last night, right? But right before that earthquake, look what had happened. Look at this shit. Shit crazy. I'm talking about, just keep on watching, y'all. Because it's finna be more interesting. You feel me? Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? That shit look like some like what? See, this is why they keep on putting these clouds in the goddamn sky and shit everywhere. They don't want us to see what's going on. That's what that's what's going on. Every time y'all remember that movie Don't Look Up? They don't want us to look up. You feel me? Look at this. They zoomed in on that motherfucker. No cap. What the fuck is that? That shit crazy, right? But y'all tell me what y'all think about that shit in the comment section. Like, follow, and share for more content.
Okay, so today's May 4th, 2023, and we're in Brighton, Ontario, and that's Lake Ontario. And there's the moon, and we have no idea what the heck this is. Look at that.
It's come and gone 3 times.
Does anyone know what this is?
Okay, going inside now.
Can someone explain to me why there are 4 moons in Tampa, Florida? Look at this, you guys. What the hell? And then there's a ship up there. There are 4 moons in Tampa, Florida, and hey, I slowed it down for y'all. Look. There's 1. Here's the real moon, or what we think is the moon. That's 2 and 3, 4. And then that ship that's just up there, y'all. What? Y'all see, this is Tampa, Florida. Here's the thing right there, y'all. Look at this. This is crazy. This is me zooming into it. But man, what is that? What do you guys think it is? That should look crazy. So we see the 4 moons plus this thing up here. It's so weird. What do you guys think it is?
A piece of a palm tree is floating in midair in Fresno, California. Can someone explain this?
What the hell? Damn.
To those who still think nothing is happening,
Let me talk to you.
why did Trump make a strange reference to the king? And 2 days later, King Charles is diagnosed with cancer.
Buckingham Palace has just announced that King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer.
Could this be at all related to the Grim Reaper showing up at King Charles's coronation last year? Why did Putin start removing his watch exactly at 17 seconds during his interview with Tucker?
They've only got 17 seconds.
And what could possibly be in the folder that Putin gave to Tucker?
Sitting here with the folder, kind of old-fashioned, I didn't know what you got of documents that you gave me.
Could it be at all related to whatever was inside that soccer ball? Coincidence or CIC? Hey, if you know, you know. Why is there a C-17 plane next to Trump Force One? Aren't those planes used exclusively to transport presidential motorcades? Why is Stephen Mnuchin, former Secretary of Treasury under Trump, and get this, film producer, appearing on $100 bills? Any guesses as to who could have taken over the Federal Reserve? Why is CBS News covering a Trump rally of all things, and get this, in sub-freezing temperatures at that?
Most church services in Iowa today have been canceled because of this cold, but not this Trump rally. People are excited. They're here to see him.
Why has Fox News seemingly thrown in the towel and surrendered to Trump after years of being anti-Trump?
They've been very anti-Trump for a long, long time. And last night, Fox made a decision, it was clear to me, to get back in his good graces.
Why is Trump all of a sudden wearing a white hat just about everywhere he goes these days? Do you get it yet?
It is likely to be the kind of death blow to what remains of the global order.
So have no fear. The Patriots are in full control.
I find it very weird that no one is talking about how there were 6 Nigerian billionaires who died in a plane crash mysteriously while on their way to the Super Bowl, and how Biden just posted this cryptic ass message right after they died. The CEO of one of the largest banks in the country was on a helicopter with pilots, family, and the CEO/chairman of the Nigeria Stock Exchange when their helicopter mysteriously caught fire and crashed while on their way to the Super Bowl. What are the odds that Biden on his presidential X account drops this photo with glowing red eyes and this weird caption that shocks all of America? And the caption for this picture that he actually posted on the presidential Twitter account was "just like we drew it up," and everyone thought that they were talking about the Super Bowl when they weren't. I honestly believe that this is what they were talking about. And if you are unfamiliar with the Nigerian Stock Exchange and what they have going on right now with America, the people on that aircraft was a chief executive of Access Bank, and his wife and his son were among those 6 people that were on board, and it went down shortly after 10 p.m. on Interstate 15, and all 6 people were killed, including 2 pilots and the former chairman of NGX Group, the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And what's so crazy, it is saying that authorities are investigating it, which means to me they may suspect foul play. They are trying to say that this could take up to 2 years. This entire investigation could take up to 2 years, and they are calling it a terrible tragedy. The Super Bowl was a giant ritual, and those people in that helicopter, think about it. If you take out the owner and CEO of a large bank, one of the largest banks in the country, you take off his wife, and you take out his son, who is left to get the money?
That's not Missy Elliott. That's not Braun either. Definitely not Oprah. And definitely not Randy Jackson. Do you get it yet?
Let me talk to you.
Between whoever those people are supposed to be and whatever was walking in that Miami mall, ready or not, they are bringing this fight straight to your doorstep. And if this causes you any type of fear, you could do one of 2 things. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours.
Okay, so here's the most innocent up-and-coming star in the whole music industry, Olivia Rodrigo. There's Satan incarnate. And you are going to watch this innocent little flower start rubbing blood all over her fucking face and chest. As she sings about a demon vampire sticking his teeth into her neck and sucking the blood out from under her. This is obviously her sacrifice song. There we go. Yeah, sorry Olivia, you're gone. It was a lost cause. And then blood just starts fucking pouring from the fucking walls. Like, this is like the cutest little 20-year-old little angel in all of music, and she's performing, rubbing blood on her fucking face as blood pours from the walls, and she sings about bleeding out. I mean, just
So I finished reading both books of the Lost Books of Adam and Eve. And outside of Enoch, that has got to be the most interesting book that I've ever read. And I've read the other Lost books, but that one, whew, it was long. And I could not stay out of it. But I'm just going to tell you, I cannot count on my hands how many times Adam and Eve died or killed themselves. And the reason why it's so interesting, because they just told us a little bit about Adam and Eve. And what they said never did even make sense. It never made sense. They told us that Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain and Abel. So you just telling me that we was all made off of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel? So everybody was messing with Eve? I mean, it just never made sense. But the main thing that caught me in this was that fact, and I'm going to come and talk more about it because I cannot possibly tell all of the stories in the book of Adam and Eve. But the main thing that caught me was that they were tricked by Satan so many times. And he wouldn't come to them like Satan, like looking like Satan. He would come to them looking like what they wanted to see or as Christ. And all I could think about the whole time I'm reading is like, how do we not know that we being tricked right now? How do we not know that we being tricked by what we think that we believe in and by what seems normal to us and what was passed generations and generations down to us to where we've had fear to only believe that? How do we know we ain't got tricked? He would come to them like an angel. He came to them as he was God, like he was God. He came to them like an old man. Every time he tricked them and it worked. And a couple of them times they caught on to it and they went and asked God, like, God, is this really you? And God would come to him and say, no, that's not me. That's the one who tricked you guys the first time. But the times that they didn't go ask, God didn't say a word. He said and watched them. Like, are y'all going to ever come and ask, God, is this really you? And so, if we even never ask, God, is this really even you? We could be we could be tricked on everything that we've ever believed in. It could be our trickery. It could be the trick of the enemy. And he made it look so good every time. Every time he tricked them, it seemed believable. Like, you would believe it yourself. So how do we not know this whole time what we've been believing in is just been a big old trick from Satan?
What if I told you that The Simpsons have already predicted 2 major events that have happened in 2024? Well, hold on tight because the last one is just crazy. So the first prediction is the Japan tsunami, dating back to season 17, episode 18, titled The Wettest Story Ever Told. The Simpsons are on board a boat near the coast of Japan when a large wave strikes the boat. And this is when they realize it is no ordinary wave, but rather a tsunami, which then heads towards the city and wipes it out. Okay, this is where it gets a little weirder. They also predicted the alien attack on the mall in Miami, which happened just days ago in a more recent episode where Bart and Lisa are at the mall while on vacation in Florida when they discover an evil alien lurking in the storage rooms.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
If I give you $1.5 million, would you be willing to spend the night in the world's quietest room? Don't rush to answer. Let me explain how terrifying this room is. It is located in the anechoic chamber at Microsoft headquarters in Seattle, USA. It is known as the quietest place on Earth. The room is constructed of 6 layers of concrete. The entire ceiling, walls, and door are filled with glass wedges. There are 68 anti-vibration springs installed on the floor. The entire chamber hangs in midair, so the sound in the room is 20 decibels. due to the walls absorbing 99.9% of the sound. No matter how loud a sound is made, it is instantly swallowed. The average range of human hearing is between 0 and 25 decibels. Anything beyond this range can be perceived as noisy. So what happens below 0 decibels? According to challengers' descriptions, sitting inside, you can hear your heartbeat and lungs expanding, even the sound of joint movements. If you try to sing, you will find that the sound is all absorbed by the surrounding soundproofing devices. It doesn't reflect back at all when the room is darkened. All senses feel as if they have been taken away. You may even feel like you are in the universe. Since the challenge mode in the chamber opened, the average challenger lasted less than a minute. The longest challenger lasted 45 minutes, eventually experiencing symptoms of dilated pupils and auditory hallucinations. If you were to do it, how long could you endure?
They showed that man the ritual that they were trying to perform during the full solar eclipse. It wasn't an initiation ritual for him. It was a ritual to show him what to do during the solar eclipse. And it freaked him out, so he got the fuck out of there. Because in order to be a part of a ritual like that, you have to know the words to say. You have to know the practices. You have to know everything about what is going on in order for the ritual to work. Now, I am going to show you and explain to you exactly what the Cabal's plan is. And I'm telling you, if you are someone who scares easily, do not watch this without someone or before you go to bed. And if you don't know what man I'm talking about, the man that everyone has seen wearing a crown of thorns and saying that they were going to kill him April 12th of 2024, 4 days after the solar eclipse. And I'm going to show you what 412, what scripture is attached to that in the Bible. But first, let's get to the evil cabal. So that place that he was talking about is actually more than what he knows. It's more than what a lot of people know. The deity that they are worshiping, Moloch, is the deity of sacrifice, because I cannot say it. Moloch the owl is an ancient Egyptian deity that was worshipped, and they would kill at his feet. What they showed him was what they needed to do in order to pass off the karmic energy. So the higher-ups and the elite tried to transfer all their karmic debt and karmic energy to the innocent, the most innocent. And who are the most innocent in the world? That man witnessed firsthand what was supposed to be done at a massive operation. There were supposed to be multiple that were taken to that place. So you all know that the solar eclipse is supposed to come April 8th of 2024. You have seen people talking about it, saying that the energy is going to be so high, and it's going to be the first eclipse of solar totality since 2017 that has the most ever people watching it in our generation. Remember how I told you that total solar eclipse will be the judge of the elites, and that the Vatican would be judged, Catholicism will be judged, false prophets, everyone will be judged. You think they were gonna be judged and not try to fight back? You think they don't know what's coming? Mind you, people from the Vatican are the type of people that go to... Those are the type of people, not Hollywood superstars. People that have the longest bloodlines in the world go there. They tried to initiate him into something bigger. They tried to show him something bigger, and it's not because of who he is. It's because of his bloodline. I guarantee you, those people know something about him he probably doesn't even know about himself. In ancient Mayan culture, it was known that during a total solar eclipse, they took a false king, and they used that king and held him captive while the real king was put away, and they killed the fake king after the total solar eclipse because he was said to have been to absorb all the negative energy. That man saying that he saw them doing things with was just a test. because I'm telling you, they are planning a massive ritual during the total solar eclipse. So while everyone is looking up, the cabal will have on their masks, gloves, robes. They will be in front of Moloch, and they will try to fight the day of judgment upon themselves with the most evil anyone has ever felt. That is what is going on. That is what that man is showing. He's showing it, and he failed the test because God knows who his people are. Because I know you guys are like, well, what? I see you guys, and you just can't put it together. And I'm telling you, y'all need to follow and listen to me, because I've been talking about this for probably 2 months now. Like, he has given us his word to lead us and to guide us and to direct us. Not only has he given us his word to do that work as if it's outside of us, he has given us his word to penetrate the depths of who we are and transform us from the inside out. Hebrew 4:12. Oh, and if you don't believe me about the solar eclipse and the substitute king, yeah, the Assyrians did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Russia, today, we stand on the precipice of a monumental revelation, a moment that redefines not only our understanding of history, but also the path forward for our great nation. In an extraordinary discovery hidden beneath centuries of lore and legend, we have opened what can only be described as the oldest vault known to mankind. What we found within its ancient confines challenges the very fabric of our beliefs and heralds a new dawn for our country. Within this vault, we discovered figures of biblical proportions, characters that many have read about, debated, and revered. These figures, preserved against the sands of time, reveal a truth that is as profound as it is transformative. They are all black. This revelation, this undeniable truth, stands before us not as a contradiction to our faith, but as a testament to the diversity and unity that faith embodies. As your president, I see this moment not as a challenge to our beliefs, but as an opportunity to embrace a wider, more inclusive understanding of our history and spirituality. Russia, in its rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and people, is uniquely positioned to lead the world into this new era of understanding and acceptance. From this day forward, let us proclaim our nation under the guidance of Black Jesus, a figure who represents not just the cornerstone of Christian faith, but also a symbol of the universal values of love, compassion, and brotherhood. This Black Jesus, whose light message to us all that divinity knows no color, that spiritual truth transcends race, and that our common humanity binds us more tightly than our differences divide us. Let this discovery remind us that history is not just the story of those who wield power, but also of those whose contributions have been overlooked or forgotten. It challenges us to re-examine what we know.
Telling us, like I just said this on my live, don't you guys find it f***ing peculiar? And I don't give a f*** what movie it is. Really look at the movies that are out. All the Disney's movies, I don't give a f*** what the movie is. It's about unity. It's like the controllers want us to unify. And we root for it. Raya, the Last Dragon, it's about Kumandra. All the different tribes coming together, but they're so divided by these minute barriers. Ants, Bugs Life, Bee-Moo. I mean, all the every fucking movie is about Disney unity or a totalitarian government and a protagonist going against it. And active state, enemy of the state, The Matrix, shit, even The Truman Show, Maze Runner, Terminator, I mean, Ocean's 11 even. What the fuck? And you know what's crazy? This is the fucking craziest part. We'll watch these movies And we, as an audience, root. And we look at the people like, why don't you guys just unify? But y'all can sit there and do that and root and feel that way for the movies. But when it comes to real life application, you're oblivious to it.